Hello students, I am Shraddha Namdeo, your science teacher from Holy Hearts Educational Academy. Students, I hope you all are fine and healthy at home and watching the video lessons and completing your assignments simultaneously. Students, before moving on to the chapter, let me introduce the chapter. What does your mother do to cook the food? She puts the utensil on the gas stove and the food is cooked. What is provided which is helping in cooking? That is heat. Heat is being provided and then only it helps in cooking. So our chapter is based on heat and the chapter name is heat flow and temperature. Students, the topics which we are going to cover in this chapter are hot and cold, temperature, measurement of temperature, thermometer, heat transfer by conduction, convection and radiation, and the clothes we wear in winter and summer. In this video lesson, I am going to cover two topics, that is hot and cold and temperature. So let's start with the first topic. First of all, you should know about heat. What is heat? Heat is a form of energy. That means it makes the substance hot. You cannot see heat, but you can feel that heat by the temperature effect it produces. What does this mean? That means when the heat is being provided to the substance, the temperature increases and the substance will become hot. For example, you can take if you put utensil on the gas burner, the utensil will become hot. That means its temperature increases, then only the substance will become hot. And if you remove that heat from that substance, that means there is a decrease in temperature and the substance will become cold. For example, if you put water in the refrigerator, what will happen? The temperature will decrease, the heat will be removed from that water and the temperature will decrease and the water will become cold. I hope you all have understood what is heat. Now let's move to hot and cold. In our daily life, we come across several objects which may be hot and which may be cold. So let's see some examples which may be hot and which may be cold. Like the tea is hot and ice is cold. Then soup is hot and ice cream is cold. A hot cup of milk and a fruit juice is cold. There are several other examples also. How do we decide whether the substance is hot or cold? We usually decide by the touch method. When we touch the substance, sometimes this touch method is not a reliable method. Why I am saying that? To understand the statement, let us perform one activity. I am going to explain you the activity and you can perform it at home. Students, take 3 bowls and name it as A, B and C. In bowl A, you will put cold water. In bowl B, you will put hot water. And in bowl C, you will put lukewarm water. Now put your right hand in bowl A, that is cold water, and put your left hand in bowl B, which contains hot water, provided it should not be too hot. Keep the hand for 2 to 3 minutes and remove your hands and then dip both the hands in bowl C, which contains lukewarm water. What you will observe that both the hands will not feel equally warm. The right hand, which you have earlier put in cold water, when you dip it in lukewarm water, that hand will feel hot. But the hand which was earlier in hot water, that hand, left hand, you will feel as the lukewarm water will be as cold water. This is impossible, students. At the same time, the water cannot be hot or cold. So, for the estimation of hotness or coldness, the touch method is not a reliable method. That is why I was saying that it is not a reliable method. To measure the temperature or of hotness or coldness of the object, we need some measurement that is known as the temperature. We should know the temperature of the substance, and then we can decide whether the substance is hot or cold. I hope you all have understood till here. Now let's move on to the temperature. Students, if we touch a utensil kept on a burning gas stove, we will feel as hot. That means the temperature of that utensil is high. On the other hand, if we touch a utensil kept in the refrigerator, the temperature is low. That means it will be cold. So, the hot substance are said to be with high temperature, and the cold substances are said to have low temperature. Thus, this gives the definition of temperature. Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of the object. Students, temperature is usually measured by an instrument called as thermometer. Thermometer you all must have seen at home also. Thermometer has a scale marked on which you can read the temperature. The most common temperature scale marked on the thermometer is the Celsius scale, and the temperature unit is called as the degree Celsius. For example, the temperature scale of melting of ice is denoted as 0 degree Celsius, and the temperature of boiling water is denoted as 100 degree Celsius. In the laboratory thermometer, there are markings from 0 to 100 degree Celsius, and each division is called as its degree. I hope you all have understood the temperature. In the next video lesson, we will continue with this chapter with the other topics. Thank you.